You know what goes great with cookies? A fluid glass of milk.
A glass of fluid milk. I don't want a fluid
A
glass.
fluid
Actually,
glass.
my glass
you know what?
solid
Yeah.
and my milk fluid.
Give me some kind of non-Newtonian glass to hold this fluid milk in.
That was good. No,
So is
I got a
Van Morrison dead?
I got a good warm up.
Not
A warm up for you guys.
Okay, what's the warm up?
It's a video I saw.
Not yet.
It's real short.
Disappointing. Okay.
All right. So I saw this milk commercial the other day, and it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. Checking this out.
Oh, geez, superfood. Gotta drink some milk, my dude. Milk hydrates better than water. If your energy is low, drinking milk's the way to go. Milk hydrates better than water.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's got to be some like Adult Swim
And-
shit, right? That's not.
And what hentai site were you on when you got
Oh,
this
this
pop-up?
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And
No. This is like horse shit, dude. This.
no, I thought.
No. This is real. Holy
Yeah, it's real.
shit. What the fuck?
No, because at work I'll like put on YouTube because they have one of those smart TVs to play music at like the end of the night, and I'll just like run. And normally you can tell when it's like an ad to just like click the button. But I was
guess
just like, what song is this? And why is it terrible?
So this is gonnaneedmilk.com, which is part of it's a
It's a fetish.
woman-focused milk lobby group. So it's like feminist milk
Like they
enthusiasm,
I
they
think
have
that was.
enthusiasm
but
for
not
women's
like
milk
no
in a
No,
lobby.
it's just like women should play video games and they should drink milk, and that's the thing. This is just kind of like Got Milk, but like
okay, the commercial itself
Got
it would
lady milk.
explicitly say they want them to drink their own milk because it was a feminized milk carton squirting its own milk into its mouth. I'm just trying to paint the picture for the listener.
yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
I mean,
no, this is
It's quite the picture.
It's not good.
who owns this and what
Oh, it's gonna be
this is-
BlackRock.
milk.
I was gonna
Pep.
say it's gonna be like a team up between BlackRock and like some weird 4chan group.
So the advertising agency that runs this is a company called Milk Pep,
Oh,
which, as far as I can tell, is an advertising agency that just talks about how good milk is. America's Milk Companies is the people who own this shit. Registered trademark, America's Milk Companies.
Like, I don't get what thing they're trying to go for, too, because they've got, like, the gaming side of it where they're like, yeah, fucking girl boss all the way, dude. And then
think-
the other side of it, outside of, like, an exercise photo, is just moms having to handle shithead kids all the fucking time, and that's
or
why
jogging,
they need their milk.
or jogging.
got
They're
it.
also
yeah, there's a
jogging.
fitness thing.
Yeah.
Isn't milk like? Didn't we find out that like all of our grandparents died from heart attacks because of milk? Like they
I
were
don't
just
think
drinking
milk-
way too much fucking
All
milk.
a lot of my grandparents are still alive, but yeah, no, people
Brag.
drink way too much milk. So, America's Milk Company is a trademark of the National Fluid Milk Processor Promotion Board.
Oh yeah, they're not helping like fund any,
I think you know what I
any
think this is. I
wars
think this is like a
across the
Morton
world.
Joe's like pre-apocalypse like business plan.
Yeah, don't become dependent on the milk.
Oh, they got a Spotify playlist. I hope it's just milkshake.
So yeah, the National Fluid Milk Processor Promotion Board. That is who we're talking about. They're also responsible for the hit phrase from 1995, "Milk, what a surprise," and "Shake it up."
You know, we all remember that famous ad campaign for Milk in the 90s.
Mm.
You
No,
might
I don't
remember
one. I only
Body by
remember
Milk.
one.
The wheelbarrow guy?
Yeah.
What?
Or "Rethink Your Body, Drink Milk."
I just remember the wheelbarrow guy.
I just remember Got Milk. That's the only one I remember as a milk ad
You don't
campaign.
remember "Milk Your Diet, lose weight, 24 ounces of milk in 24 hours"?
There is... I mean, as a lactose intolerant person, yeah, that is a good way to lose weight. You know what? I support this. I'm back on board.
How about "It's Not Breakfast Without Milk"?
What about milk facts?
Or "The Great American Milk Drive"? Do you remember the day they announced the Great American Milk
They
Drive?
go through every town just jerking off all the men.
They have a milk TV.
Or just "Chocolate Milk, the official drink of Halloween"?
No, it's
What?
what?
Yeah, that's what I always look forward to when Halloween season rolls around again, is that I can finally get chocolate milk in stores. You can't find it any other time of year.
So the National Fluid Milk Processor Promotion Board conducts business as the Milk Processor Education Program. Oh God! So it's just a bunch of, it's all like this circle.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one cracker. I'm sorry, it's a graham cracker right in the center. Just needs a good dunking of their milk.
The program develops and finances generic advertising programs designed to maintain and expand markets and the use for fluid milk products produced in the United States.
Why don't they hate powdered milk products? Is it because they don't like poor people?
Because that's carnation and fuck carnation.
Marketing more than 3 million pounds of fluid milk per month pay a... Wait, what? In the processors marketing more than 3 million pounds of fluid milk per month pay a 20-cent per hundredweight assessment on fluid milk processed and marketed in consumer-type packages in the U.S.
Okay.
The program was created and administered under the Fluid Milk Promotion Act of 1990, which was... Okay, is this a legit...
I mean...
Because this was a leak... Okay, so this was an actual bill that passed.
There's been a lot of government efforts to like push Americans to drink more milk.
This is
like,
from
to consume more
1990.
Dairy. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So
It was like the height of like Michael Jordan with a white
that
The government
that terrible
paid for
video that
that.
you showed
Tax
me
dollars.
of the creepy
Yes.
the creepy milk carton drinking its own milk while it danced around was made with American tax dollars that were set aside or at least allocated
Yes.
34 years ago.
Yeah, the fluid milk industry has more funding and backing in their savings than we do for our Social Security. They're going to keep seeing that money well past the chance for us to ever collect.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Our nation's
So,
fluid milk.
I mean, I have to say, I don't think that you should drink milk if you're going to go running. I think that's a terrible comp. Like, who wants to do that?
No.
It's like
That's
it's like they have to be like, they did the survey. And it's like, what do young people like? They like right now we need to worry about women, I guess, because we just give up on men. They're too busy drinking energy drinks. So women, what are you going to drink? Okay, you need you to drink milk. What do you like? You like exercising, or you like playing video games?
Yeah.
Is that the thought process?
Yep.
So like we're just gonna.
Now, I will say, if like the Boston Marathon started by everyone having to like chug half a gallon of milk that's been like sitting out for about an hour,
I'd watch that.
I think, yeah, I would eyes peeled the entire time, like undivided attention. I think we just cracked the code to getting people back into some sports.
Maybe we can get sponsored by fluidmilk.com.
Fuck yeah. Every station where they've got like the little water rehydration, we've just got warm milk ready for them.
If you didn't see on their website, it literally said, "We want to sponsor you."
Hell yeah.
Well, we're not women though.
Who says
We
who?
do talk about video
says who?
games.
2024.
We know women. We can get one in on this.
Can we?
Yeah. I think so.
My mom doesn't count.
Name a woman.
I'm going to say Jessica.
Yeah, that's what I
I
thought.
don't even know who that is.
I don't know. I'm just saying a name. This segment started off really
Brought to you by
strong.
milk.
Okay, so now that we've exposed the Fluid Milk Processing Board's corrupt influence.
Yeah,
on
weird,
the
like a
stands.
pyramid scheme, but it's really more like they're one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top
I mean,
of
that's
the
the thing,
other.
though. That's the thing. We all mentioned, like, okay, what's the milk advertising thing we remember? Got Milk. You know what this whole company and the federal money behind it did not do? Got Milk. That's a whole nother company that's setting up the whole Got Milk campaign.
That was also probably being funded by taxpayer dollars.
Oh, yeah,
as well.
probably.
Yeah. No, this is fantastic. It's one big milky shell game. You know what else is a milky shell game?
Oh.
Stacking by Double Fine.
Oh, not so much milky, but certainly I feel like everyone in this game could have used like a glass of milk.
Yeah.
Like,
They could all use like a light sandpaper roughing, little shiny.
yeah, well, yeah. I was
Yeah.
just thinking like this is Stacking, a game by Double Fine. It's an adventure puzzle game, I guess I would
Yeah.
call it,
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
about being a Dickensian Matryoshka doll.
Little Johnny Black. not
That's the
Johnny
end of the
Blackthorn.
episode. I got it. We're all done.
What's your name?
Oh,
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
wonderful.
Jimmy Blackmore.
Jimmy
Charlie.
Blackmore.
Charlie.
Charlie
Little
Blackmore.
Charlie Blackmore.
Jimmy Blackmore, I believe, is the lead singer of Deep Purple.
Is
I'm gonna look
Jimmy
that up.
Blackmore alive? No.
Is he
No, never
sentient?
was fictional. I think you're
Richard
thinking
Black, Richie Blackmore.
Blackmore.
Richie
Yeah.
Blackmore.
Yeah.
That's my bad. No Richie Blackmore in this.
So, puzzle games, huh?
Yeah, this was another market suggestion.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk about why you thought this would be a good game to play? Not that I'm doing that accusatorily.
Because it was
This time.
really cheap, and I
Good
100%
start.
knew my computer could run it, and
It's 12 years old. Yeah.
I was close full times. No, not really. It's fine. And I know Double Fine always does pretty good work. So,
That is true.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my more favorite companies, Psychonauts, being one of
Psychonauts.
the more Costume Quest. Actually, if you've never played that, really fun game. Could always check that out for this another time. I don't know if I've played a bad game from them. I know Brutal Legend, like some people
that
say
the
it was a
Jack
hit or miss,
Black
but I
game?
also, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they did release a game that was literally unfinished, and that was Space Base DF9, which, if you go on their Steam page, is listed as like overwhelmingly negative or whatever. I got it in early access. This was like early days early access. I want to say this was like 2013, and it was a like a space station simulator management game.
You love those.
And they just kind of dumped development midway through. They're like, yeah, we don't really think this is going anywhere.
Oh.
And a lot of people really didn't like that. I mean, I respect it. I mean, I wish I had paid $20 for the pleasure of playing their leftovers, but I respect that decision. Like, but I can kind of get why people are very upset about it. But even what they have in that game is actually good. I mean, it's not like it's just unfinished. Like literally, uncompleted work. But yeah, stacking is one of those. I had this I think I probably initially had this on my wish list probably back when it came out, and at some point it fell off. Although I don't know how things fall off my wish list. I have like several hundred things on my wish list. But no, I completely forgotten about it until Marcus mentioned it, because it's like one of the few Double Fine games I haven't played. And yeah, it holds up remarkably well. Aside from like some it has like a very the UI I think is very of its time.
Oh yeah.
of that
the very end
Xbox
of the
360 era.
What do you recall that floating little? You know what I'm talking about? Where your skill set is just kind of floating there on the screen.
Yeah, a lot of floating interaction things and
Pop-ups,
stuff.
yeah. A lot of little pop-up things. It's got that kind of, I guess, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time has the best,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Your little
for overlay, for the UI overlay, as far as,
Yeah.
what skill options you have. It's just the 4-button up in the right corner effect. Which is perfect because it's a simple game. You don't really need much more.
yeah. I mean, all
than
you're
that.
doing is stacking
Yeah.
and
It's like the main mechanic for this game is taking over other dolls by jumping inside of them
Yeah.
and then using their special abilities to solve puzzles. And because the way that becomes difficult is that you can't just because you're smaller than a doll, you can't just jump into it the biggest size doll. You have to jump into dolls of sequentially
size.
smaller or larger size
Yeah.
in order to get to the largest ones. And I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Super Mario Odyssey stole from this game?
Oh, interesting.
Do you think the hat mechanic would exist without stacking?
Oh.
Huh.
Are there... Well, what about Kirby, though?
I don't know, because
Kirby.
you've got Kirby, you've got Hitman, which like would open up new avenues as you take over a person. You've got there's
Mario
a lot of games. Even the
power-ups.
Saboteur that we played recently has
Yeah.
like a light element of that to it with, you know, this disguise system. I think this has just become a common trope. Not that common, but a trope that can be utilized as a game mechanic for, I don't know, last 15, 20 years.
It's funny that you should mention Hitman, because that's exactly what this game feels like to me. It feels like child-friendly Hitman, where you're given like an open level.
Yeah.
You're given like a generic
Task,
like end
yeah.
result. Like you need to get all the bad guys out of this room, or you need to do this. And you're given many, many different options and different ways of doing that. So, like, Hitman will be like, you can poison the ravioli, or you can, you know, make it so that they fall off the stairs, or something falls on their head, or you just shoot them in an alleyway. And this game does that same thing, where it's like the objective will be to, like, you know, cause a mess at this photo shoot, and you can have, like, things fall on stuff, or things explode, or, like, by different
Depending on what
mechanisms.
shell you interact, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the Fart Man in level 1.
There's a lot of fart men.
Yeah,
There are.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of one of the things I like about the game is that
The farting?
the stage. Well, the farting, obviously, yes. No, it's the returning to locations, or
Yeah,
the
'cause-
the characters like coming along with you in like different areas, not with you personally, but like they're also
On
people.
the journey, yeah.
like doing their own thing. Like, hey, I saw this person here, and now they've made it, you know, onto the airship. Like,
So that made me
it's-
wonder, like, they are like people with lives and they're doing stuff. Like, what goes on with them when you take them over?
a nightmare that we
You
can
know?
only like begin to fathom.
And we have to assume that Charlie erases their memory every time he leaves their body, because they have no reaction.
They don't. No one cares.
whatsoever.
And people watch.
No, I mean,
The
I
people
think
see
that
it.
might just be like the issue with the nesting dolls
Well,
is
because
that
there's
their
also a
like,
thing is-
memory is like goldfish.
You have to be
level.
behind them, and like,
Yeah.
there's a certain ones that are like,
Also very Hitman.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want you to do it. So they
No,
must
and
know.
when they see you, they freak out. Like when you do it to another one, and they run away, and then they're like
they'll be
fine
like-
5 seconds later. But
Yeah. Well, they do such a good job conveying emotion with the animations for these dolls, because like nothing moves. Like, I mean, they move like in the way that like every movement one of these Matryoshka dolls makes is a movement that I could do if I was holding one with my hands and manipulating it that way. Like, they don't stretch themselves out. They don't have like floppy arms. They don't, like, their eyelids will move, or their eyeballs can move, but like they'll make faces, but they don't have like anything else.
they can't gesticulate outside of South Park's version of like the Canadians when they speak, where it's just like two halves just flapping open. Yeah.
Yeah. But the animators did the animators did such a good job conveying like emotions with that. Like, it's really impressive.
And I also think they did like a really good, whatever you call it, like art direction with it. That will like, it doesn't really let it allow itself to be outdated, because you know.
No, it's very stylistic,
Yeah.
and I think that's the benefit to going like hyper stylized is that you can
You don't have to worry about graphics.
Yeah.
getting
you can
better.
go back
Yeah.
to it years and years later, and yeah, it doesn't matter where graphics went. As long as you did a good job at the time, it's going to hold up. Wind Waker, like the original, not even the remasters or anything. If you go back to that, very stylized, it looks great still.
Yeah, like Marcus described this art style to me, we were talking earlier, as a Decemberists song.
Yeah.
And like like I think that's very apt. Like, I think that's right on the money.
Yeah, it's got that mood to it. Yeah, this is it's a really fun game because I always enjoy a puzzle game, or I mean an action platformer game could have this too, but any kind of adventure or puzzle game that has the ability to have multiple outcomes, multiple options to reach the same goal, I just really appreciate. I've been playing like point and click adventure games since I was a little kid, and in so many of those, we've played that with Dark Side Detective on here. You encounter this thing where it's like, well, this makes sense that I should be able to use this thing here. No, it doesn't. It's actually this weird, convoluted set of circumstances that you would have never been able to guess on your own.
Yeah.
And
But like in this one, it's like, what if both of those worked?
yep, exactly. Yeah, I really enjoy that. Plus, it then gives you like the replayability factor of wanting to go back and do all of it for the challenges.
Yeah, and it gives you like this almost collect-a-thon-y kind of vibe where you can like you get like every time you possess a different person, you get like a little percentage check in your collection of people you've possessed, which sounds way worse than the game makes it out to be. But like when you complete like a level or you redo all the different puzzle solutions and you've jumped inside all the different dolls, it gives you like a little completion, like you have a little home base area you go to between levels.
With the Hobo King.
Like fills out these images for you. What do you say, Marcus?
With the Hobo King.
With the Hobo... No, he's not the Hobo King
Is that the Hobo
yet.
King? Yeah.
No, yeah, you have to...
The ones
did, you
in the
do,
future.
did you do the Hobo King DLC?
No, I didn't.
Uh-huh.
No, I kind of want to.
Lazy gamer.
I am.
No, I'm just joking. It's actually a lot different. One thing I did notice about this game is that all the levels are transit. Like
Yeah.
train stations, trains,
Airships, boats.
airship, boat. Like I don't know why they all are transit, but they all are. I thought that was an interesting choice. Like, I mean, obviously that was something they did deliberately, but I wonder why. It's just like an industrial revolution, turn of the century thing. Like the whole thing is being able to move around, or, I mean, my one theory, and this is like me thinking too hard about this, but I do wonder if there's a certain element of like classism to this game where you're always like possessing wealthier people and it's like masquerading as other people. Like you talk about like farces or like old My Fair Lady and Pygmalion, where it's always like about like pretending to be the wealthier class, and like there isn't really that much of a difference, and you can kind of stick poor people inside of a big people or a wealthy person's body, and they're not that different. You know what I mean? And I do wonder if maybe the transit thing plays into that, because in the turn of the century, transit would be the one place you would have the most interactions of different levels of class. Like you'd have like you wouldn't be able to separate. I mean, they did with like first class and steerage and that sort of thing.
They're always going to find like ways to separate the classes, but I think you're right. I mean, we still see that today with like subway systems in major metropolitan areas. Yeah, you're going to get a whole mix of people. I think the subway is still the great unifier because you don't have those
boarding passes and all that stuff.
Like
no
boarding pass,
lounges.
there's no first class, there's no sleeping car to it.
Yeah.
It's just like you lay on a bench and tell people to fuck off if they try to tell you to sit up. That's the sleeping car.
Well, I mean, your theory does
it's-
have teeth.
I think you're right though. to
Yeah,
a
because I
degree.
mean
Go ahead, Marcus.
the whole premise of the story is your family was so poor that your brothers and sisters had to go into wage slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now you're on a little Charlie Blacksmith adventure to find them. There's a little chimney sweep.
Yeah, and also like having it set in the backdrop of like some transportation system on each level. Yeah, it's not just the people who are traveling; it's where the workers are all going to be gathering. It's where I think you're right. It serves a lot of different purposes, and I would not be surprised if there was a purposeful design to like
story
the
within the
meaning that
setting.
you're kind of what you're kind of hitting at here with it as well. But it also just allows you to have a wider variety of people versus like this one's going to be set in like a steel factory. Well, now
Right,
it
and then just
all has to
all
be
steel
themed around
workers.
steel workers and smelters, and while you do find people like that in the game, they're going to be everywhere else too. They're not just in one spot.
No, that's a good point. Like you don't like this game really likes to have like a lot of weird things where you could be like a clown and then possess a marching band guy and then a judge and then a policeman or something like
A
that.
widow,
Maybe.
you can get up inside a widow. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, I don't want to hear about your weekend.
Horrible.
That's why he volunteers at the nursing home.
Every Saturday, baby.
So yeah, I don't know. I thought this was a good time. Like
Yeah,
it's kind of short if you don't do the alternate routes. Like it doesn't really have like a ton of difficulty. Like I think part of the difficulty is like trying to figure out the clues for like the secondary
yeah,
ways of doing it.
Well,
but, like,
there's always
initially-
one like kind of like I don't know. I would say like 12-year-old answer for like,
Yeah, exactly.
and then there's like higher levels of difficulty ones for like more like adult players that aren't just gonna be like, ooh, I had to fart into the fan.
Well, yes, for the adult gamer. I don't know if I'd use difficulty even. It's just more like it gives you more reasons to explore and experiment because you're just going to keep hijacking more and more nesting dolls and trying to figure out what they can do versus another. And then once you find that one that has like a little special thing that makes you go, huh, I wonder. Like, that's usually going to be an alternate route you can, complete your objective with.
Like the farting or...
Like the farting, yes.
Yeah, I was so upset you couldn't get into the rats, though.
Yeah, they let you get into a dog. Why not?
They let you get in a dog that's hanging out with the rats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was like,
oh,
this
rats
is
are smaller than you. They're like
no,
the
they
only
are
Matryoshka dolls that
definitely
are smaller.
bigger than you.
Were they?
They're like just
Might
enough.
be equivalent. Might be like equivalent size.
Yeah, in which case
This
then
is
like
like a
the
Langford
rats
height
can
thing.
take over the world.
Yeah,
And
why
this just
weren't rats-
becomes a Plague's Tale stacking.
I mean, I guess an orphan can become a judge, but a judge can't become an orphan.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I mean, you can. You can just kill a judge's parents, I guess. But
We're not endorsing that here. We're not condoning that.
The only thing we endorse here is fluid milk.
yeah. Fluid milk platform.
Yes. If you're going to commit a crime, commit it with fluid milk.
It's the
That's my
best
endorsement.
hydration for crime.
Yeah.
Fluid milk, the official drink of the purge. Man, is there anything that makes milk sound less appetizing than
Fluid milk?
Fluid, like, is there like it assumes the existence of something other than fluid milk?
Yeah, there's condensed.
That's.
powdered,
I mean, there's powdered milk, or I guess they would just call
gaseous
that
milk,
dry dairy product. I don't know.
like we call like dairy vapor. Is that?
That's what the kids are doing.
Well, it's just it would be like saying this is solid ham. I've got a solid ham here. Do you want some
Very
of my solid
solid.
ham?
Completely
Like, what?
solid.
Well, I have solid ham. I have fluid ham. I do not want fluid ham. No, thank you, sir.
It's more gelatinous.
Yeah.
Wait, ham?
Like the ham block? Like the deli ham
sure.
block?
Sure.
You never jiggled a deli ham block?
I guess I don't buy that kind of ham.
Well, I mean, I don't buy
get
it.
like a
Just like
good-
had to slice it for work.
Yeah, I have
Pick
to
it up.
slice it for what?
Pick it up to deli.
Which ham are you buying? Are you just?
Oh, just the cute.
Are we talking about the uncured Black Forest hams?
No, I'm talking about the gelatinous.
It comes from this. It's called
cube.
Long Pork Industries.
Okay, I gotcha.
No, I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. They're an offshoot of Gonna Need Milk. Yeah.
Hold on.
I think I know the ones you're talking about. It's almost more like a mortadella or something.
Hold on. I gotta download
Okay.
an image.
Deep ham lore.
Ham lore?
Ham lore.
Ham.jpg already exists.
It would. It would on your computer.
Ham parentheses 2 period JPEG.
You know what that means? You're gonna have to make a ham folder now.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're gonna ham folder, subfolder, solid ham.
That was the highlight of my day.
What? That looks like a bar of soap.
It's the ham cube.
Is that not just spam?
No, it's like deli. It's like the low quality deli.
That looks like a rubber
Yeah, it looks like
eraser,
bologna.
maybe.
Yeah,
It does.
but
It does look a little bit like a
It's-
rubber
it's
eraser that you've like
processed
nervously
ham.
poked at. No, I got it now. Yeah.
I wonder what
a
my-
pressed ham.
other ham is.
Definitely not just the stuff they scraped off the floor of the slaughterhouse and then smooshed into a cube and dyed pink.
Yeah. No. It's actually this little nicer. It's the stuff they clean off the slicing blades that kind of gums up. They just take a towel and whatever they can wad up into it.
Oh, this one's not nearly as good. I don't even know why I saved that.
Okay. I mean, I get why, but
I guess the humorous thing about this image is that it implies that this is just like a like Clippy popped on when they're writing the document. It's like, it looks like you're trying to write a hastily scrawled note saying you're out of something at your fast food restaurant. Would you like me to call up the template for that? And
Would
then
you also
just...
like me to turn on spelling and grammar check? No, thank you. Ah, shit.
What were we even talking about?
Stacking.
Oh,
I'm gonna use
What's
this one
y'all's
as
thoughts
the
on it?
image for the
This is a good one.
I like this a lot. I think this
Yeah.
was. I think as much as I like this, I kind of also felt like maybe it was a little. I don't want to say kiddie, but like
definitely.
I would get more out of this if I was younger. Like as I am of the age that I'm at,
Advanced.
I'm kind of like, this is fun. But I think I could totally see myself when I was 13, 14, or 12. Earlier, maybe even, just like wanting to 100% this game. Just like, oh yeah, I've got to try and get in all the dolls and find all the clues and, all that jazz.
Yeah, just so you know, the only way to play this game is to talk to everybody.
That's what it tells you.
It tells you a lot
Yeah.
in the first mission.
They're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's enjoyable. I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. I was very obsessed with the 100%ing of like adventure games, puzzle games when I was a kid, especially if they gave you multiple routes or options to take. As an adult now, definitely not. I'm just too tired.
You don't have the time
Just
for
so
it.
tired. I don't have the fucking time for it. So you know what? In that regard, though, I will say I like this still as an adult because it's a game you can get in, get out, and you had a fun time playing it. It didn't overtax your brain. It's a nice end of day wind down thing that you can just kind of shut off and enjoy for a little bit. Sure.
It's still, aside from the overshininess, it still looks really good on modern computers. Like I
Yeah.
was able to jack
I
up
was actually a little
resolution
bit
quite a bit.
impressed because Psychonauts. If you play that nowadays, it is a little bit, and that's very stylized, but it's still a little bit degraded over
Some
time.
of the same problems we had with Anachronox, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the polygon. It's more the angular stuff. Everything here is smooth, round, polished. It kind of can hide that ugliness that it has.
Yeah, honestly, aside from some of the UI conventions, it really could have been made any time in the last 12 years.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I don't think that we've kind of already hit this. I don't know,
Repeat on the cycle.
0 point with technology where everything just kind of looks all the same video game wise and movie CGI, for example, and it's mostly just well, this was the style 10 years ago, and that's kind of how I felt about this. Like, the only reason this felt old to me is because it's like, oh, this is how they would use these buttons if I was playing Fable 2 or something like that,
That's definitely the one thing that dates it.
Yeah, well, there's that, and the faces themselves, while I really enjoyed them, I couldn't help but picture, like, GoldenEye, where you've got this very blocky, ape-like polygonal character that they've just, like, painted or stapled a face onto. And while it works for, like, this round doll to have this face just kind of painted over onto it, it just made me think that they were just, like, grabbing these from the files of those old games and just slapping them on, which I liked, actually. It made me feel a little extra layer of nostalgia for it.
Yeah.
It's layers within layers of enjoyment.
Oh, no.
Some kind of Russian doll.
Like onion thing, I think.
Oh, like an onion.
That's a...
Were you sad that there was no Shrek cameo in this game, Marcus?
What'd you say? Just blanking. I'm still thinking about that ham JPEG thing. It got me all distracted.
Now he's wondering, could you just put the onion in that ham?
What? Oh, there's no Shrek.
Shrek.
No, that would have taken away.
Yeah, not like ye oldie turn the century Shrek where he's like a circus strongman or something. And like one of those weird stripey.
What was Shrek's power? Just being an ogre?
I mean, I was going to think it would be like him like yelling and scaring people off, which there was a character that did that.
Yeah.
Or it would be him trying to get people to like clear out of a room by farting, which there was a character. I would actually argue that Shrek is an omnipresent vibe within the entire game.
Yeah, that's true.
December
Yeah.
Shrek.
Shrek is the Holy Spirit embodying this entire game.
Shrek
That's right.
Timberists?
There's
Shrek
something
Timberist
there.
Revolution.
Yeah.
The Shrek Timberist Revolution.
All right. Okay, should we move on to... I don't really have any news per se.
Oh, I have not had the time for it, but I've
There
definitely
hasn't
been
been.
playing some other stuff, so we can
Yeah, no, me
speak
too.
on
Should we
that.
just jump into that then?
Dang.
Let me grab a beer because I actually do have the day off, and why
Okay.
not? I'm gonna slow sip on one
Take
while we
a-
talk about this.
Quick break, and then we'll come back with what we've been playing.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. I do not like looking at my own face. All right, what have you been up to this week, Mike?
What have you been doing? What's up, guy? Have you heard
I
this?
mean, video game related or just life in general?
I mean, preferably video game, but if your life is video game,
You know what?
adjacent,
I
then
actually
we can talk
have
about
I
that.
have a crossover of something I've been playing and something I was doing yesterday. I had the day off, but I went into work and smoked 50 pounds of chicken thighs and got all of that shredded and processed and vacuum sealed away into these nice little 5-pound packs for my team. And working on optimizing and efficiency within that kitchen so that there's not a gap in inventory on any one given day. No, it's been fun taking over the kitchen there. It's also just been a lot of shitty long hours and work. But when I was doing all that yesterday, I didn't have that much to do outside of like some light pickling of some product. And so I brought my Switch and
Ooh.
played Balatro.
What's that?
Just a nice, like, turn my brain off. It's a nice roguelike poker game where you're given a hand of, you have a full deck of 52 cards to start. You're given a hand of 8 cards from that deck. And you have, I think it's generally 4 plays of, anywhere from high card all the way to a straight flush or a royal flush that you could play out. And you'll get points based on what poker hand you're able to make. As you play cards, you can draw new ones. You also have a few discards that you can do if you want to dump up to 5 cards per play from your hand. And as you keep playing, you'll unlock new decks that have different powers. You'll unlock these Joker cards that also have powers. So it might be like,
He's joking.
hey, we put a 20 multiplier on any hand
I'm
that
joking
is
here.
like scoring clubs as part of its points. There you go. There we go. That's the famous Joker line.
Step back, everyone. He's about to joke.
Phenomenal. No, it's it's an interesting game. It's got like it also plays in with like tarot cards and other forms of cards.
Oh, you said tarot.
Some of them are tarot. Some
Bus
are
cards.
Yeah, well, there's actually like a baseball playing
Greeting
card is
cards?
like one of them. There might be a greeting card. I haven't unlocked it. I haven't gotten that deep into it. I had my best run while I was at work yesterday, and I got all the way to the final boss.
Ooh.
Because it's small blind, big blind, and then boss blind. You'll play three kind of rounds of matches against these things, and then there's 8 sets of that.
To beat
And
the
if
whole
you
game,
complete
yeah.
all of it, so yeah, you beat the whole game through that run with that deck and however you powered it up. I got all the way to the final big boss blind yesterday, and I was able to easily score over 100,000 points, like sometimes with just a couple hands.
wow.
And then that one was like 300,000, which was more than triple like any of the other ones requirements for like points you need to achieve by the time you finished your final play. And there was just no way to do it. I got to like 180,000. I felt really good about it, but whatever, it's fine. It is what it is. I unlocked a few new decks, a few new jokers to find in the game. And yeah, it's a simple, easy game that you can turn your brain off to and enjoy. you can stop at any moment and go like do what you need to do, and you're never going to like spend a lot of time thinking about it.
Well, in all fairness, you can do that with a lot of Switch things because you can just like that is the one unsung major innovation of handheld consoles.
Yeah.
Is that they all have
What
that
do you call that?
ability to
I mean, I
just
guess
pause.
so. I'm thinking
Yeah.
more like for the roguelikes themselves. So many of them are like action oriented, like a Dead Cells. You can't just like pause in the middle of a run and come back 2 hours later and like
you
pick up where
can,
you left
but
off.
it's
You could.
miserable.
You're probably not going to remember
Yeah.
like what like row was I trying to like get through? What door was I trying to do? What are
Yeah.
all my power ups?
Yeah, I guess that's
This
true. 'Cause
one's just
I mean,
a
like,
lot
I
more
think,
casual. Like Slay the Spire. It's more like
Yeah.
that where you could like stop, come back in, look at your hand, and then figure out where to go from there. Other than that, at home for video game playing, I've been playing this game called Dungeons of Hinterberg. It came out like about a week ago, as of the
the
time we're
Austrian
recording.
hipster simulator.
It's very fun. It's like a Austrian Persona almost,
Oh.
at least in the vibe.
I mean, with like a pretty heavy side dish of Zelda
Oh yeah.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, very,
So open
very
world,
much so.
yeah.
It's an open world thing. It's got more like the Persona's day cycle, where you start off in a town. You can kind of meet people around town, unlock new people to speak to as you like explore the dungeons and overcome certain challenges within it. And it's just this very casual vibe. Then in the afternoon, you go out, you go do your dungeon, you come back in the evening, spend a little more time with one of the townspeople, start your next day. And it's got a little side plot to it as well about the town itself. The whole premise is that it's a normal place, like this is supposed to be the normal world, just like a year or two ago, dungeons started to appear everywhere. Very like anime storyline style. And people found that they could power up and level up and get abilities like from going and doing these dungeons.
So the only anime I've ever seen is Akira. So I'm assuming.
Yeah, we
like
gotta fix
Cowboy
that at some
Bebop.
point here. But like, no, more like, what was that? Legends of the Magi or something was one of them where like it's literally like these towers. It could be Towers of the Magi. Appear across the world and dungeons start. There's that new one, Solo Leveling, that's like based off a Korean manhwa. That's gotten very popular, like an online webtoon manhwa kind of style.
Yes, I understand.
That's
these
gotten,
words.
yeah. That's gotten
That's
very
Kor-
popular.
That's
the
Korean
first seasons,
for manga.
yeah,
I was
Manga.
telling Marcus. Yeah.
manja.
Manga. I like manga and anime.
I think if you're gonna go that route, you're saying Japanimation, but yeah.
My dad always says anime, even like
It sounds like he's trying to say it like you would say like a dish at a Mexican restaurant if you're trying to impress the wait staff, but you really don't know how to say it. Yeah.
that's like 100% my dad's MO. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Um,
But yeah, that's what
no,
I've been
I've-
playing.
Did you play that on Steam then?
I've been playing Hinterberg on Steam. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I look forward to playing that at some point as well. I've been playing. Actually, let's do Marcus first because mine's kind of boring.
Oh no.
You know what they say. End on a boring note.
No, we gotta talk about some other stuff. Well, we've done like 50 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
What have I been playing? What's it called? I'm afraid to open up Steam.
Because it's gonna be right on Orc Massage.
Oh no, because Steam will like crash and then probably bring something else down with it. Yeah, it's PINBALL FX or RX.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I knew there was something interesting you've been
Okay.
up to.
It's a free game, but it's like one of those ones where you only get 2 machines for free, and then after that you gotta pay for like. A lot of them are like movie themed or Marvel. A lot of Marvel, DC, Family Guy, other Family Guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Other Family
What's it
Guy?
called?
Simpsons.
No. I don't know if there's a Simpsons one.
Honeymooners. The
American
Flintstones.
Dad.
Sure.
There's Aliens. There's a couple Alien one. You know, Jurassic
Like
Park.
Alien, like Area 51 Gray Men, or like Alien
Alien
versus
like
Predator.
Xenomorph.
Like it's all
Gotcha.
like franchise.
There's
Okay.
properties.
There's a new Avengers versus Xenomorphs or Aliens comic series that's coming out.
Oh, that
I
sounds-
might-
There's a new
pretty
Alien movie
interesting.
coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, it's supposed to be a reboot,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's.
I don't know. I feel like we could keep the
I think
same
he's
lore
doing
and just
that
do more
thing
aliens.
like the guy said with like when you're crossing the room and you go halfway each time. Each time he's making
Xeno's
one
paradox.
that's like halfway closer to the start of the first one. Just gonna do that forever.
Okay.
I think that's what Star Trek is doing these days with their prequel TV shows.
Yeah,
Oh,
they don't
but,
know what they're doing. But yeah.
One of the biggest like pack you can get is the Williams brand, and Williams is like a pinball company, as Arvin knows.
Yeah.
But they have like gone out of their way to meticulously make them like exact replicas of the machines.
Nice.
And when you like load up a map, it'll like if it's like a machine that's real, it'll just like give you a detailed history of it and its schematics.
Oh,
Yeah.
no kidding.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is really cool.
Yeah, I've looked into a few of those older machines, like to get one for my place at some point, and they are really fucking expensive.
Yep.
So I might get like a kit at some point and build a kit. That's a lot more reasonable priced, but I don't know.
You
It's
know,
that, and what is it? The Bally's, I think, is the other one. There's
I mean, if
Williams
you're
and
a pleb,
Bally's. Yeah.
but-
Oh, cool. Yeah. Way to gatekeep pinball.
No, I'm joking. Bally's is fine.
Okay.
listen, I mean,
Okay.
click it, clicker,
Yeah,
but you don't want to hear about that.
I mean, I'm kind of curious how deep in are you now? Because at one point you were like, "Oh, I can only like do this thing once every like 2 weeks."
Yeah, because I was getting at that time I was getting fractal engines. I don't even use them. I sold all of them. They don't do nothing for me anymore. So far I've come.
So what are you on now? What's generating your cookies?
Me.
ovens.
You start the top thing now is a U. Is what it's called. It's just like a shadow form of yourself, I guess.
Okay.
It just
So
says,
it's just
And you just
its description is more of you to make even more cookies.
so is it taking all of the things that you purchased and produced and developed and then just making copies of all of that every
like,
purchase?
each one you buy, does it double your current
It
whatever?
doesn't.
So
It
is it
does
like
not.
actually exponential
It does
growth
not.
because it's doubling the doubling of the double?
This one's only me follow a 4.6 SX, which is SX is sextillion per,
Mm-hmm.
and I have 42 of
What,
them.
second? Per second?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
it's not enough. I still have to wait like a whole day to get a thing.
It's going to be pretty great when we come back in like 30 years and his phone's bricked because it's actually taken up too much like bits within it.
I'm gonna reach the biggest number.
Just the numbers.
Just the number, just the raw save data file is too much. Too many characters.
That's the plan.
Is that when you win Cookie Clicker?
I don't know. Am I just
the
bit
phone
mining
melts?
right now? Is that what's really going on?
I mean, at least with that, you might make money. You're not going to make any money unless you scam someone else. But you know what I mean. Like, you'd at least boil a lake in upstate New York, so there'd be a physical effect on the world.
You can sell your cookie clicker account on eBay. Like,
You probably could to some like
2
teen
Bitcoin.
right now. They all play Cookie Clicker.
I'll do it for 2 Bitcoin.
dude,
That's-
that's not some small amount of money.
I know.
That's like,
I'm
I
not-
mean, speculative, but like that would be like 100. No, it's like 130,000. I looked at it not too long ago. It was
I
like
know what my
65.
I know what my
It
cookie
was like a
clicker's worth.
65,000. I mean, it's worth whatever someone's willing to pay, right? That's what the market would dictate. It's like selling a Diablo 2 account back in the day.
Yeah,
Have a 99 Amazon with 5 stones Jordan.
$25. No, probably like 100 something.
I was gonna say like 130 or something is what I'd sell that for.
Don't even look at old Pokemon card prices, guys.
Well,
Like,
that's just
don't.
'cause
No,
like
I don't want to.
collector
I
things.
gave them all to
Yeah.
my nephew, and then I think he lost them like in a move.
I mean, also,
And so
I
all
never
those cards
really
were gone.
had. I never had a single shiny.
I had 2 holographic Blastoise, and I think I could
Oh, yeah, I
buy
had
a
some
new
Holo Blastoise.
car
Oh, probably.
for that.
Yeah. I had Holo Blastoise.
just-
I had Holo Chars. I also had a misprint one.
Oh, that was probably worth $1
That
billion.
was like it was meant to be like hollow, but like it had a very dark background because the like stamping process didn't work properly.
I had one of those. It was a misprint Magic card. It was like some elf in the forest, and it was just like Elf Warrior, and it was like mirrored or something. I can't remember what was wrong with it.
Oh, like a weird.
And I looked
double
up, and
print
it was
thing?
like, yeah, and it was like worth 10 cents more.
Yeah.
It's like I was like, oh man, I got one. And it's like, no one cares about Elf Warrior.
Yeah, I never got anything good, even once. And
Yeah, well, you're probably spending your money on smarter things like cigarettes or
And
something
lollipops.
lollipops are cheap.
How is that lollipop treating you? What
Good.
flavor is that? Is that bubblegum or watermelon?
Did you rob a doctor's office?
They are actually can you
Yeah.
read it?
Okay. Yeah, sure did.
They're keto lollipops.
Yeah.
Vegan,
Allergy friendly.
0 grams of
artificial
sugar. So they're
dyes.
just.
Okay.
So how does that treat your bowels, my dude?
I mean, never had any problems.
It's a magical morning every day when he gets to see what color it is. He doesn't know.
I mean, I think it's like colored with like vegetable or fruit coloring, so it's not like.
I think it's just
Yeah.
vegetable
Yeah.
oil and artificial sweeteners.
That's
Yeah, I've been
that's
playing the new WoW pre-patch.
Ooh, what does that mean?
Playing that a lot. It's just the it's like they do like little events before the expansion comes out, and you run around and you do stuff and you get good gear, and it's like all the gear you spent all the last 2 years trying to get, it's now suddenly incredibly easy to get, so
Oh.
that you'll be ready for the next expansion. And there's usually they actually move the story around this time. This is generally when story happens, so that's fun too. And that's also when like everyone comes back on, so all of a sudden WoW goes from being a ghost town to being like incredibly populated, and you're going to go kill some weird boss, and all of a sudden there's like 80 people, and it's like, oh, I remember when people played WoW. And it's the best time to play World of Warcraft is right at the end of an expansion, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And also there's like tons of stuff to do because they've been you have like a whole expansions with the content that you haven't touched, and and I played a little bit of Dragonflight, or I think that's the name of this expansion, like 6 months ago, and it wasn't enough to like see everything by any means, so it's been a pretty good time. Looking forward to the new expansion. Like I said, there's just, generally speaking, there's like this kind of giddy feeling to everything, just because, again, it's like, yeah. In some ways, I kind of think of it like a bit like the Olympics, not in the sense that like I actually care about the Olympics, but there's just kind of like everyone's excited about it for some reason, and there's like this general like enthusiasm about stuff.
I'm almost a little disappointed. WoW has only produced $9.23 billion worth of revenue.
And most of that's just from selling
Subscriptions.
sparkle ponies, I imagine, cosmetic horses and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, didn't the what is that? What was that game? Oblivion Horse Armor made Bethesda more money than they've ever made before.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not so much that, but like the horse, the magical horse you could buy for World of Warcraft, which was like one of their first cosmetic items, made them more money than the entirety of StarCraft 2 did. When StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty launched. Obviously much shorter dev cycle on a horse animation.
People really wanted that horse.
And then now there's Fortnite, and they make all the money, and they have turned this into an entire game style. So,
And that's fine. It
Games
can
as
stay in
an
its own
industry.
little space as long as it doesn't like fuck with the rest of gaming space. Then I'm
yeah,
fine
and
with
WoW's
that.
actually better about it than a lot. Like they do this thing where like you have like a monthly
Well, what if
store item
it gets to
bundle
the
that you
point
can
where
buy?
like game companies are just like, if we can't sell a new skin every week, what's the point of making this game?
That's
That's
what
where
I'm
they're at
concerned.
right now.
Like,
They're
yeah.
already there.
Yeah.
That's already
Well,
the
so-
thing. Why do you think like all these? That's like every big live service game. It's like, well, if we're not selling this, then we can't. That's already where we're at. Like it's only a matter of time before like that Suicide Squad thing gets shut down, or like why every 3 months there's some new party shooter, extraction shooter thing that comes out and then that gets dumped
'Cause
another
no one
3
else
months
is-
later
no one's putting
because
money
they
in
weren't
it, yeah.
making.
Yeah, even Helldivers has seen like a significant drop off of player. I haven't been on in. I haven't played that game in like a month at least. Like I still have it downloaded. I'm keeping it up to date. I want to get back on at some point. I'm
They
just
gotta
waiting
figure out
for
the
that
cookie clicker
final
model,
faction
man.
to come out.
Whatever
Yeah.
that is, that cookie clicker model, man, I can't put it down.
Well, the problem with Cookie Clicker is that you haven't spent a dime on it, so it's ever.
I mean, it's still making tons of money off of him, probably for the permissions
from
he gave
ads.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I've
never
whatever,
watched
like
that.
little bit of information it's mining from him and selling off in a packet.
They're probably
Yeah,
selling
yeah.
all my information to Big Cookie.
It's like, did you know that men in their mid-30s drink a lot and masturbate?
Yeah,
No way.
exactly.
No, I think WoW does it a little bit better than most. Like they do this thing where you have like a monthly trading post stuff, where it's like a bunch of stuff you can buy. Well, you can buy for currency, which you can buy with money, but they also just give you some currency for like playing. And most of the time, I don't ever want it anyway, so it's like I don't feel like like I'm missing out on anything. Like I remember back towards the latter days of Coder, or Swoder or whatever
The
the fuck
online
that one
one?
was. Like, yeah, it felt like I was like really missing like all the good stuff because like all the cool armor was that stuff there being like sold. And I kind of feel like World of Warcraft, like they still put the good stuff behind like dungeons and quests and that sort of thing. While like the stuff that they sell is more like specific. Like if you want to make your guy look like he's in a deep sea diving suit and riding a flaming unicorn, that's like what you do with the money buy
It's purely
type stuff
cosmetic, it
versus
has nothing to
the
do with game stats.
yeah, exactly. And more importantly, it's not cosmetic in like the way that like most people fantasize their characters, you know what I mean? Like it always kind of exists like in the sillier or like more outside part of it where it's like you're never going to have like them sell like really cool like armor that makes you look like a paladin of the light or whatever. Like it's always going to be like something a little out there or specific to like a certain like race or something like that. Like it's I think so far it hasn't bugged me yet. That doesn't mean it's not going to bug me in the future. Speaking of which, I did buy the horse armor for Oblivion, but this was back in the day. So this was really interesting because this was what 2006, maybe 2007, and I bought the DLC on disc at the local video store. So like you could buy
DLC.
the DLC on like a DVD or a CD or something that was just sitting there in the rack. So
That's
like I never
wild.
downloaded anything because I was like bad internet. So I got like all the DLC off of a disc.
That is crazy.
I never did the thing, but I remember there's a thing for a while. Pokemon, like you'd go into like a Toys R Us, and there'd be like a dude there that would do like cable trades with you for certain like limited edition Pokemon.
Yeah, you just get like a special a limited edition Pokemon thing. But that was always free as far as I'm aware. That was always just like they're doing a promotion, or a lot of times they try and do like meetups and stuff like that. Or early on, it was always tied to like they tried to like cross promote it with the trading card game and stuff like that. But yeah,
I remember.
that was a whole thing. That was a cool thing back when. I mean, again, the point then was like let's get kids in stores so they can buy more video games, and now it's like no one needs to go into a building to buy
Let's just
anything.
get the credit card. Yep.
Well, it's like they upped the price on the freaking bus fare into the downtown where I live, and it's like this. It's like I don't know how they did this, but it's like the exact same cost as for shipping from like everything. Like everything is always like, $3.99, $4.99 in dollars, so to speak. Like I'm rounding equivalencies, and it's just like, why would I pay bus fare when I can just have this delivered to, like in front of my like. You're killing the shopping district. But hey,
I mean, it's probably one of those things where people stopped using the bus enough, so they had to raise the fare to cover the cost.
no, I mean the bus usership it goes up
Oh, does
every
it?
year. It's just that they want to squeeze more money off of the people who need to ride the bus, and they don't care about the people who want to ride the bus.
Arvid wants to ride the bus.
I do,
Please.
but I also don't want to leave my apartment. So
Yeah.
bit of a problem there. All right. Anything else we want to talk about? Kind of a short ep.
Yeah.
Had a lot going on.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a busy summer. I think most people understand that. Most people are also thick hold on.
Oh.
Most people are also very busy this summer. They're in the thick of it. There we go.
You know what I've been thinking?
What's that?
You've been
The
thinking?
problem with Hollywood right now. When was the last time they tapped Kenny Loggins to do a theme song for a movie?
Didn't he just do that new?
Is Kenny Loggins alive?
Did he work on perhaps the Top Gun sequel that came out
Did
2
he?
years
I don't
ago?
know.
Oh, I'm sure that he at least I'm sure they played that song in it at some point, so he got some royalties off that. Interesting. His now net worth assessments are always bullshit because they're usually by someone there. He's only worth $16 million though, is the assessment. I would have thought that would be a lot more.
I mean, 3 songs that I know of. Footloose, Danger Zone, and The Caddyshack.
I mean, probably most of that money is from the fact that he voiced a character on Grand Theft Auto 5.
Did he really?
Which
Did he?
has, yeah, he was a radio DJ.
Oh.
Which I mean, that must mean he's I feel like everyone who worked on that must just, I mean, assuming they had a halfway decent contract, must just have money coming up to their armpits. Like that thing has just printed money since it came out.
Yeah, I was actually shocked to see they were even going to do a GTA 6 and not just announce
Some kind of
GTA Online
GTA
2.
Online forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what Hitman's turned into. It's now just, you can't even buy Hitman 3. It's now Hitman World of Assassination.
Yep.
I'm like,
It-
and it's like this arcane method of trying to figure out what stuff you want to buy. Because they basically
Thank
took
God that
Hitman
it's
3
happening
and then
for you
cut it
too.
into chunks into 6 different levels. So you have to buy each level a la carte. And it's just I just want to play Hitman 3.
Yeah.
And it's stupid.
Yeah, it took me it took me a while to buy it because every time I'd go up, I was like, I don't know, I need to do more research to make sure I'm buying the right thing. This is so fucking confusing. Never have I felt so old than trying to figure out that purchase.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of. But to me, I didn't feel old. I was just like, what are they trying to trick? It's like walking into a timeshare seminar or something. Like, what are you trying to do to me here?
Yeah. Hey, do you just want to play a stage of a Hitman game? Well, you and 5 other friends could all swap out playing these stages together. Do I have
For $20.
That's right. Per month. Do I have a deal for you?
Yeah, exactly.
They really don't even sell you the whole game.
We're gonna get to that point at some point where they're
No,
like,
exactly.
hey, do you and 3 other Steam friends want to go in on this game together and share it between each other's libraries?
Wait, didn't they try that though with a subscription-based gaming service thing?
I don't know.
It was
I know Amazon will
you
let
can
you lend your ebooks to other people.
no, but it was a
Well, you can
specific
do
gaming one.
you can do Steam sharing where you have a family share setup.
Can you?
So you can play games if you're part of your family. But I think and that kind of works as a checked out system. So you can't have all 5 of you playing the same game. One person.
Do you have to live in the same household?
I don't think so.
We
I
might
don't
want to
think so. I
look
think-
into
but you
making
can-
a family account, guys.
Nope.
Oh, Arvid.
Oh,
Orkbazage.
Arvid's got some games he doesn't want us to see. I get it. That's fine.
The thing is, it's not even those ones. It's the fact that I spent 700 hours playing Sims 4 back in the day, or Sims 3.
Okay.
Can't let people know that.
Oh, I mean, I think you just did, but that's fine. Which means it's actually really, really higher than 700 hours. A lot. That's fine. I would just assume a lot of that was you left it on and then you went to work or school and then came back and just
Well,
hit space
part
bar.
of that certainly.
Sure.
It got to the point where I was like, I need to go into offline mode because if the number goes any higher on the hours played on The Sims 3, I probably will have the FBI knocking on my
I do
door.
that if I even just am playing a game that I feel is not considered a great game. I'm I don't want
yeah.
my friends to know I'm playing this stupid fucking thing.
Wait, wouldn't
for
it automatically
3
log it, though?
hours in a day? It'll log it, but it won't just show on the friends list that
Yeah,
you. I mean,
you
you
won't get that
could
thing,
put it into your privacy folder, but then you might as well
Then
start
people are gonna
playing
know, yeah.
the porn games. Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah.
That's worse.
If you're that ashamed, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's the smart move is to put it on your bookshelf mixed in with the other books. Don't put it under your mattress, man.
So where people
That's
always
when they
look,
find
yeah.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that went places. Thanks for listening to the podcast. If you liked it,
Wait, when was the last song Kenny
leave a
Loggins
comment.
did?
It was a
Oh,
partnership
I
with
don't
DMX
know.
called Milk's Gonna Give It to You.
Milk. Give it to you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish we were sponsored by milk.
Sponsored by the Fluid Milk Processing Board.
Yeah, we got it.
It's milk.
Mm.
Thanks for listening to the podcast.
Thank you so
I've been
much.
Arvid.
I've been Mike.
I've been Marcus.
And that's the sounds of Marcus sucking on a lollipop
And clucking cookies.
and clicking cookies.
Bye.